Hello there, folks. Welcome to the Split Bill Daily Interview. Today is our guest is Mr. Ben Gourley from the Rumpke Mountain Boys over there in Athens, Ohio. I was real tempted to do a bluegrass song just because I think of those guys sort of as a bluegrassy band. Somebody asked for this one. I played it before on the show, but I figure there's different people watching every day. I like singing it. It's a new song. It's the newest song I got. And I wrote it. I was inspired to write it by sitting in line for a train. And after I started thinking about it for a while, my attitude changed from anger to pensiveness. And anyway, this is what came out. I think the last verse especially is appropriate for the particular conditions we find ourselves in today. I'm parked right here in the middle of the road. My hands grip the wheel. My head's about to explode. There's no one to talk to, nowhere to complain. Like a mess. All right, you're watching, but I disappeared. I don't know what happened. So anyway, glad to be back. I'm parked right here in the middle of the road. My hands grip the wheel. My head's about to explode. No one to talk to, and there's nowhere to complain. I'm just stuck here waiting on this forever train. Where's it going? Where's it been? Is it headed home or rolling out again? When it finally makes it to the end of the line, it'll pull into the station right on time. Radio's busted, my phone is dead. Stuck here with me all up in my head. I look in the mirror and I stare into my brain. Going nowhere, waiting on this forever train. Where's it going? Where's it been? Is it headed home or rolling out again? When it finally makes it to the end of the line, and it'll pull into the station right on time. People in front of me, people in back, nodding along to that clickety-clack. Separate all together here on Lonesome Lane, counting the cars on this forever train. Where's it going? Where's it been? Is it headed home or rolling out again? When it finally reaches the end of the line, it'll pull into the station right on time. All right, that's Forever Train, most recent Bill Poss creation, and hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to bring Mr. Ben Gourley on from the Rumpke Mountain Boys. Hey Ben, how you doing?
Hey, good to see you again. Long time no see, right?
So I want to encourage everybody, if you're listening, let us know where you're listening from. I always love seeing those places pop up. I see some of you where you're from, but some of you I can't know. Looks like a couple from Canada, maybe Arkansas. George Dirksen, where are you from? Hi, George. All right, sorry, we do this. Try to get people to write in and let us know where they're coming from.
That's awesome. That's interesting to know, too.
In Cincinnati, Ohio. Here we go. He has seen the Rumpke Mountain Boys many, many times. And his wife has a Ski Rumpke t-shirt. What's that mean?
Beats me.
Ski Rumpke. Okay. Oh, Rumpke Mountain. I get it. Ski.
Makes sense.
Maybe he made a shirt or something. So you guys are from Southern Ohio, hey?
Yeah. We're all Cincinnati based. JD's out of Memphis, so he lives a few hours away. We actually met him. He came in 2011, and we just happened to cross paths as all being touring musicians at the time. And having him with us, has been an awesome change to the whole dynamic of things. But having him live that far away sometimes has its impedances too. He's got to drive 7.5 hours each way or whatever. But
I was interviewing Hugh Daniil yesterday from the Woodbox Gang, and he mentioned that he did some shows with you guys that band did some shows with you guys at some point along the way.
Yeah, we've crossed paths them a handful of times at least.
They're a hoot, man.
We run into a handful of good bands out there, man. Like there's a bunch of interesting folks out there traveling, doing the same thing we're doing, and that's the cool thing about the festivals is getting to actually cross paths with time to mingle a little bit too. The bar hopping show scene kind of tends to limit the amount of time you actually get to interact and get to know people personally off the stage, which I found some really awesome folks out there that way.
Yeah, that's a great way to it's interesting to me the difference between the people. They're backstage at the festivals. Some people don't want any interaction at all. Right. Most people do, especially the band members seem like that they're the ones who really want to mix and mingle.
Yeah. That's my favorite part. I don't know how you would not want to do that. It's never made much sense for the folks that just seem like they kind of want to be off on their own. Like maybe they're just tired of it or whatever, I guess. But that's my favorite part is getting to hang out.
Yeah. It's interesting how crude it can be backstage. So especially in Canada, I did a lot of touring up there. Those guys are so incredibly crude. They're so nice when they're out on stage or they're doing the thing. You get backstage and they're just crass. But it's funny. It's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Well, so we talked about the Tillers earlier. The Tillers also from Cincinnati area.
Yeah. We've definitely known them a long time.
You guys got a kind of a cool scene going on in Southern Ohio.
Yeah, there's some real good music that's come out of there, and not just in the bluegrass scene either. Like there's been, a handful of other bands along the way that have really impressed us, and that we've gotten to know personally. Another band, I think they're out of Columbus now, called The Works. Were kids I went to high school with, that have continued music through all this, and it's cool to cross paths with them, knowing them from before any of us were musicians, and now to all still be pursuing it.
Right on, nice. Now, are you near Nelsonville?
Yeah, I'm like 20 minutes from Nelsonville. I'm in like downtown Athens, so like I live just off of the main drag. So,
okay, we played in Nelsonville. We never did play in Athens, but we played in Nelsonville a couple times. There's a theater there.
Oh yeah. That's a really cool theater actually. I've been talking. My girlfriend goes to school here at Athens and in Athens, and she was talking to some people about like how that room books and stuff, and potentially trying to work on figuring out a way to get Rumpke in there at some point if we can. So, hopefully once all this lets up, we can figure that out still. Very
cool. Well, I hope that we can get you to one of our festivals. We offered for you for Wonder Down Music Festival with the Way Down Wanderers, and it didn't work out. You guys had something else going on, but maybe next year. Maybe we get you over at Moccasin Creek next year.
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Yeah, you guys would be perfect for. We do everything from string band to singer songwriter stuff, and it's a nice mixed blend of music.
Yeah, sounds fun. I'm always down for new festivals too. Like I said, that's kind of my favorite part of the whole scene is getting to do those, and you get more time to actually interact with the other people and with the crowd too. But it's just a nice scene, so I'm always down for a new one.
Well, both of those festivals are great because there's not a bunch of doofuses trying to bug you for this or that. People just walk around and it's really laid back. We got a few hundred people. There's not a throng of people trying to bug you for your autograph or whatever. They'll just talk to you, so it's kind of cool. I like that about it.
Cool. Yeah, sounds fun.
Cool. Hey, can I ask you to play a song for us?
Sure.
Cool. This is Ben Gourley from the Rumpke Mountain Boys. He's got his own record coming out. We'll talk about that after he plays a song. But that's a beautiful mix you got there.
Thank you. This is
I'll come back in when you're done.
Sounds good. All right, so this one's called The Blank Page Blues, and it'll be on my new album, Lost in the Shuffle, coming out here, which we'll talk more about. Cigarettes burn and the hours keep slipping away. My poor heart is humming with 500,000 things to say. Now my tongue is twisted and my fingers tied. I can't find the words for how I feel inside. I'm lost and lonesome and buried in the blank page blues. Temperatures are dropping and the leaves are beginning to turn. Well, I hope it doesn't rain because I got plenty more bridges to burn. Say it all if I can find the words. Let it all out and be free as a bird. But I'm lost and lonesome, buried in the blank page blues. Well, I tried to warn you, baby, there were dark clouds over my mind. Oh, I told you in a song, but I couldn't get the words to rhyme. Well, I might have wrote a novel in the time I spent writing this song, or a list of all the reasons that I can't tell a right from wrong. Don't ask questions, don't tell me lies, don't let them know what's behind those eyes. I'm lost and lonesome, buried in the blank page blues. Well, I don't recall the reason that I thought I had something to say. I guess you gotta spend some money if you're gonna want the dealer to pay. Told you once, but I thought it twice. To roll those dice is just bad advice. I'm lost and lonesome, buried in the blank page blues. Gotta laugh at thinking that I might have had something to prove. There's a shadow in my heart and I just can't get it to move. Bring another cup of coffee if you're coming back into the room. There's nothing on the paper, but I know there's gonna be real soon. All these thoughts buzzing in my brain, it's about enough to drive a man insane. I'm lost and lonesome, buried in the blank page blues. Morning birds singing like choir out all along. Another sleepless night with my head spinning way past dawn. Didn't find the words to say my piece, but I found enough to tell you that at least I'm lost and lonesome, buried in the blank page blues. I'm lost and lonesome, buried in the blank page blues. Well, I'm lost and lonesome, buried in the blank page blues.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I wrote that one about not being able to write a song.
That's always good to have an out, So I'm gonna read some of these responses. We got someone from Lawrenceville, Illinois, St. Louis, Missouri, Vernon, British Columbia. Hi, Kathy. I see Red Barn Corner, Altamont, Illinois, Covington, Kentucky, Port Dover, Ontario. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Now, here's my challenge to you today. Share this video. If you can just look at the bottom of your page, there's a share button. You can just share it, and then all your friends. Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy, people. Share this video. It's free. Ange says, if anyone wants to throw Ben a virtual tip, Venmo at Ben Gourley RMB There you go. That's all you need, I guess. Ben Gourley, and you can see the spelling of his name there, and then RMB stands for, I assume, Rumpke Mountain Boys. Yep. So cool. Well, that was a great song, man. That record you sent me, I'm not supposed to have a copy. It's not out yet, but I somehow acquired a copy. So really great record.
Thanks, man.
I'm trying to remember.
I was real happy with how it came out. Like we were kind of discussing, earlier, like it, I wasn't sure how things were going to result from doing all this just with home recording stuff, working with, I've just got this simple USB microphone and, running through my laptop and not even really knowing what I'm doing with it. I've always, we've worked with engineers for Rumpke for all the stuff we've recorded. So, like doing it this way and recording all the parts myself, like all that stuff was just a totally different, like change of pace from how I'm used to doing an album. But it's been awesome, like extremely like informative and I feel like there's been some good growth come out of it. So
is it a project that you had in mind for a long time and decided to take this time to do it, or were you already working on it? What was the process?
Yeah, I had kind of come up with it, but like I had started working on it, like just doing multi-track recording stuff through different like it started with an app that I got on a tablet years ago, and I did like a couple of run through multi-tracks of like different stuff, but the quality just wasn't there. So this was more kind of going back and I pieced a few things out of the old stuff that I had recorded, but most of it was, laying tracks over what I, maybe a framework that I had put out before. Mm-hmm. Because I tried to keep those intact only because of the fact that those were usually recorded right when I wrote the song. So I felt like the essence of the song was more contained in those than what, my recollection of that would be now. So yeah, using those as a framework kind of gave them the original feel to them. But yeah, a lot of it was thought of and conceived, but not actually carried out until just here recently.
What at the beginning of no one's heard it but me and you probably, but the beginning track, it kind of surprised me. It starts out in a way that I would not have anticipated based on what we just heard from you, or the other songs on the record. Sure. So it feels a little more electric or something.
Yeah. And there was like, that was kind of the liberty of this like recording thing is there aren't, I'm not making a Rumpke album. I haven't defined what my albums are going to sound like. So to be able to, layer in some of the, like the electric mandolin running through distortion and stuff like that the first track employs, like, that kind of, it was just stuff that I wouldn't have really done before, but since I didn't have, time restrictions with studio clocks running, the meter, you're paying the longer you stay in there. Like with this, it's, I can sit up all night long and mess around with stuff and add and subtract track by track of any instrument I've got in the house and see what I like, so by being able to do that, I ended up coming up with, a feel on that one that was outside of my normal element of how we would record with either Rumpke or personally.
Right on. Are you one of the writers for the songs for the Rumpke Mountain Boys?
Yeah, we all contribute on the writing for Rumpke, fairly equally as far as like albums go. I think we've all contributed almost the same amount of songs.
Nice.
For the most part.
And on your album, those songs are those all your songs?
Yeah. This album is all original, and I plan on. I'm in the process of working on the next one now, while this one's kind of in the submission, waiting to get released through the distributors and stuff. But I'm already in the process of laying down tracks on a second recording to do.
Oh, wow.
I've got nothing but time, and this is all this material that I haven't used over the years. Right. It's been building up. Some of these songs are, a couple months old or a couple weeks old. Some of them are years old, so.
There was a song that really caught my ear. I think it was the seventh song on the album. Something about something in Ophelia or something.
Yeah, Kaluna and Ophelia. Yeah, that was the one that we actually released on SoundCloud. It's free to stream right now.
Oh yeah, people should do that.
Yeah, then we'll post a link about that. I'll talk to Ange. We'll get that one up there.
You're gonna get a link? Okay, that'd be great. Angie, if you got a link to that, we'd love to have it. And again, you can leave a tip for Ben Gourley on Venmo at Ben Gourley RMB. Am I saying your name right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're one of the few people that actually pronounced it right the first time, man. I'm impressed. I like you more already.
More than what? All right. Hey, let's get another song from you if you don't mind.
Yeah, you bet, man. Let's switch to the tenor for the next one, and I think I'm gonna do "Diamond in the Rough." Today's not my dying day. As the sun blows those clouds away, I hold on to the song as if nothing were wrong. But today's not my dying day. World's spinning much too slow. It's a someday that just won't show. Heading into the wind as my patience grows thin, but the world's spinning much too slow. That old sun shining bright in the sky. There's so many reasons why. Given all that I had, still I'm feeling so bad. The sun's shining bright in the sky. If tomorrow should bring my time, I suppose that would be just fine. It's not up to me, so I'll just wait and see. If tomorrow should be my time. Roses all refuse to bloom. It's another lonesome hotel room. You're not by my side, though I've tried and I've tried, but the roses refuse to bloom. There's a reason I just can't guess, and all I can give is my best. It can't be enough to be a diamond in the rough, then the reason I just can't guess. 'Cause today's not my dying day. As the sun blows those clouds away, I hold on to the song as if nothing were wrong. For today's not my dying day. I hold on to the song as if nothing were wrong. For today's not my dying day. No, today's not my dying day.
So, just quickly about this this instrument that you had there. That's a tenor guitar.
Yeah.
And it's strung like the same notes in the same order as a mandolin.
Yeah, same. Well, it's CGDA, so it's a different tuning, but the same intervals as a mandolin. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, it plays. And if you capo on 7, it is a mandolin pretty much, like a 4-string.
Okay.
But it's been great because I was never good at doing any kind of lead stuff on guitar, but after playing mandolin for years, this thing it's a natural fit for being able to run scales and do a little bit of lead stuff on it and still get kind of a guitar sound.
Cool. Do you play the guitar at all?
Minimally, yeah. I can strum rhythm like chord stuff on a 6-string, but once it comes to doing any kind of runs and stuff, I fumble around because it's just different enough from what I'm used to that my muscle memory makes me reach for the wrong notes.
Yeah, right. I've tried to play the mandolin a little bit, and I can't do that on a guitar either, to be honest. But mandolin is even harder for me. So naturally, I like to pick people's brains about some of the places that we don't know about. It's like any kind of a club somewhere that you particularly like to play that people should know about. Maybe they're visiting, Athens, or it could be anywhere, or a festival that maybe that you particularly love that you've played that you think people ought to be hip to. What can we learn from you?
I'll tell you the best kept secret that I know of would be the Terrapin Hill festivals down in Kentucky. That's one of my favorite places on earth. Just the crowd, the venue. It's a beautiful place with amazing people and just a good vibe. And we've been playing there for years. It's family to us and stuff.
Nice.
It's just a quiet little smaller festival down in the hills of Kentucky between Lexington and Louisville. But yeah, just a great time and a great scene. Stanley's Pub's like our usual go-to bar in Cincinnati. That's kind of our local hole in the wall that we haunt quite often, even if we're not playing when we're in town. Athens, I haven't broken into the music scene enough yet here. There's some good spots around, but I didn't have much time off the road to dig into it until all this. And now with this, we can't really go out and check out the bars. So
yeah.
I haven't gotten to dig into it much here.
Have you ever played a place? I don't even know if it's still open. There's a place. It used to be a place in Dayton called Canal Street.
Yeah. I used to go to Canal Street a lot. We played there once or twice right before it closed. We played there, and then a few years later it shut down, I think. But
right.
Yeah, I love that venue, man. That was a cool room with a lot of history, and
yeah
it was a shame to see it go.
Mick was a character.
Yeah, absolutely. We Adam, actually, our guitar player for Rumpke, has spent a lot of time in and out of that place, like just with different music groups that he played with before he started with Rumpke years ago. And then, as far as just going and seeing shows, I'd see him all the time when we'd go out, when I'd go out to see music there. So that was actually where we first met unknowingly, and then years later ended up in the band together. So
right on. So you guys are nationwide, right? I mean, you tour most of the time.
Yeah, we like when everything's going normal, we're usually coast to coast at least a couple times in a year. Like we try to get out to the West Coast at least once, and then East Coast a lot easier to hit from Ohio, so we get out that way fairly often.
We got some Canadians watching. Do you ever get up into Canada?
Not yet. We actually had a festival booked for up in Ontario, and I don't know if it's still going on or not. But that was going to be our first time playing in Canada, which we were super excited about. We've done Jamaica as far as out of the country, but that's the only, Canada would have given us another country on the list that we've traveled to. But yeah, I don't know if that's still going on or not.
What do you remember the name of the festival?
I don't off the top of my head.
I know a lot of them canceled for the summer, at least.
Right. Yeah, I think it was. I want to say it was earlier on in the summer too, so I'm pretty sure that one's.
Yeah, the big one that I know in Ontario is Mariposa, and I know it was canceled, or at least it was postponed, maybe than canceled.
I think I got so excited when Matt said Canada that I just kind of stopped paying attention to what he said after that.
I will say for those listening that if you're interested in the Moccasin Creek Festival, we have not canceled it. We will not postpone it. If it gets canceled, it'll just go to next year, and we'll try to. Our attempt will be to bring the same bands back in. Although I'm sure that will change some. Some won't be able to come, but there's and we're very hopeful that both Summer Sundown in September will happen in Effingham, and then the Wonder Down in October 9, 10, 11. Those we're very hopeful that they'll be at least in some capacity taking place. So stay tuned on our. You come to Splitbill, I talk about this all the time. So that's the other thing I was going to tell you is if you just follow the hashtag Splitbill, you'll get notified anytime we do stuff. And we do a show every day at 3:00 from 3 to about 3:45, and so tune in every day. Tomorrow I have from Canada. I have Brock Zeman, a great songwriter, a good friend of mine, and Brock and I have toured together and played together, and we I'm a big fan of his, and so please check that out tomorrow at 3:00 Central Time. If you're at Brock's way, you'll be wanting to tune in at 4:00. So. All right. Well, I'm gonna ask you if you play another song for us.
You bet. I think I'm gonna switch over to the Quattro for this one.
The Quattro. What's this?
Ooh, whoa! Where'd I go? Something happened.
You're still on me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. There we go. It just one of my other screens popped up for some reason. I don't know what happened there. So this is a Quattro. It's a Puerto Rican instrument. It's supposed to be tuned. I wrote this down just for the ability to be able to explain it. It's normally tuned B-E-A-D-G, but I tune it G-C-G-D-A. So it's basically like playing tenor guitar. But it's done with the octave strings, so it's almost more like a 12-string guitar. So this is a song called Monday Evening that'll be on the album here. Go on, be free now. Leave me to stand. More of a shadow and less of a man. When I began, colder and reckless. Heard it before. Just remember I warned you as you walked out the door. Never saw you no more. Stars are all falling. The night lasts for days. The only lesson I've learned is that everyone pays in too many ways. one played aside for the ghosts and the spirits of our good friends that died. At least I feel like I tried. Here lately I'm losing more peace than I find. Or am I just overlooking as I stumble round blind, thinking wounds heal in time? So be a fool with your chin up, set your weapons aside, wash your aching heart clean with the tears that we cried. Try to enjoy the ride. So go on, be free now, leave me to stand, more of a shadow and less of a man than when I began. So go on, be free now, just leave me to stand, much more of a shadow, much less of a man.
Cool. Yeah, someone writing in from Houston, Texas. Hey, Doug and Nikki, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. So how did you get started on this path, Ben?
Bunch of bad decisions as a kid now. You know, I always had an interest in music. Like, I didn't have a whole lot of it in my family growing up. My mom played a little bit of guitar here and there, and like my brother picked up the keys for a short period and a little bit of guitar. And I always enjoyed like the concept of it. Kind of did a couple little band things in high school, like with buddies and stuff, Weekend Warrior, you know, party band thing. Like, and then, yeah, I kept an interest for it through everything after that, and eventually was kind of messing around in Cincinnati with this with a group of pickers, but not playing out, and then saw an ad for the Rumpke thing, and in the local newspaper. This was like fall of 2001, I think. And I saw the ad in the paper that they were looking for a mandolin player or a fiddle player. I knew 6 chords on the mandolin maybe, and I had a capo,
right?
And I could sing, so I got the job. Like that, you know, that ended up being what took the cake, I think, there. But so everything that I've learned on mandolin since then, and being, you know, in all the stuff that I'm doing now is all attributed mostly to my time and, you know, the stuff that I've learned from being able to play with, you know, Wolf and the other guys in the band. So
Rumpke, you've been with them for 19 years.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a haul.
Makes me feel old, man.
I think I've been at it a long time, which I mean I have, but I've been at it 25 years, I guess. But that's a long time to have a band together, you know. Is it mostly the same group?
Yeah, it's we brought Adam on, I think, about 2 years after I joined. And then JD joined us in 2011. But yeah, like since 2011 it hasn't changed, and even before that the three of us have been together, you know, like 17 years or something. And I think we had a couple people swapping out, like at the beginning, like, you know, they'd be around for a little bit and then something would come up and we'd diverge and get someone else in. But I think the main thing is just we're really fortunate as a group to be able to get along amicably on the road and understand that, like, even if you're really upset about something, minimize it as much as you can for the sake of we're going to have to be in close proximity for the next, you know, however many weeks or days or whatever till we get home. And, you know, as a group, like, I think we're extremely fortunate in, you know, just being able to be compassionate and understanding and work through things productively as opposed to just screaming matches and fist fights and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that probably helps. Everyone's able to keep that off the stage too. That's probably an important lesson for a band.
Yeah, we're pretty good at just shrugging things off, you know, like, is it really that big a deal in the end? Like, you know, probably in most cases, not really. And if it is, we have a good way of discussing it, and everybody's pretty open-minded to listening to each other if it's a real concern. We know that if it's gotten to the point that the group is confronting us on it, you should probably listen to what they're talking about, you know, like, so we're pretty receptive.
Do you guys have any plans for live performances or any kind of online stuff going on, or?
I mean, we just started doing. Last night we did our first like Zoom stream where we were all involved with it and kind of coming in and out and taking turns singing, doing some interview stuff like in between. Like we were just having fans write in questions. So we definitely plan on expanding on that philosophy and adding some new flourishes to kind of make it a little more appealing to people and draw some more folks in. So yeah, with any kind of luck, like those will be every Tuesday, and then each of us does like an individual stream at some point during the week. I usually do mine on Saturday. I think JD does his Mondays. Wolfie's been doing Sunday, and I'm not sure which day Adam does, or if he just kind of comes in when he's feeling frisky and wanting to pick a little.
Right on. Yeah, I was doing that, but then I started this split bill, and it's about all I can take of myself to be on camera for 45 minutes a day. It's a lot,
Oh yeah, that's an awesome service though, man. It's really cool that you're doing it, and getting like for me to have this opportunity is an amazing thing, and I'm super grateful, and I'm sure the other musicians involved are too.
Well, I appreciate you willing to share your time and talents with me today. So you guys have I'm trying to Snuggle Weenie.
Yeah.
That's in
Snuggleween. Yeah, it's a Halloween weekend festival. Like, it started as Snuggle Fest, and then when we moved to Halloween, we obviously just switched to the Snuggleween name.
Snuggleween, I got it wrong. Yeah. Okay. And so, is there a website for that? People can check it out.
We have a Facebook page for it, and like there should be. I'm sure we can get some links posted about that stuff too. Here, I'll make sure they're up there. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head, honestly.
Right on.
I don't know that we have an actual website for Snuggleween as much as just the Facebook event page and stuff.
Well, I'll tell our listeners, I see probably some of the names I don't recognize, but this is brought to you by POS Music Works, which is the not-for-profit that puts on Moccasin Creek Festival, Summer Sundown Music Festival, Wonder Down Music Festival, and we do shows all year long. We do artist in residence, youth artist in residence program in the spring and in the fall, although this year it was canceled. This year we had the Bernie sisters lined up, and it was very exciting, but they couldn't. We were going to try to push them into October next year, around the Wonder Down Music Festival. So if you if Rumpke Mountain Boys ever come through Central Southern Illinois, we do shows all around the area. Obviously not right now, but Effingham is where we're located, and everybody's been through Effingham. If you're a touring musician, you've been through Effingham dozens of times, I'm sure.
Yeah, we've done.
You'll have to stop.
What's the other one that we used to play down there? There's another little city down that direction, I think, that we used to play in.
Charleston?
What's that?
Charleston or Carbondale?
Might have been Carbondale.
Yeah, that's a couple hours south of us.
Okay,
but we're right between.
We passed through that area a million times between heading out west and coming back and all that stuff too. So
when you're on 70 and you see that giant cross,
yeah,
they're crying, pointing at it. So it's right there.
Oh wow,
that's where Effingham is. Okay. So it looks like a big town when you're driving through on the interstate, because there's every fast food restaurant known to man. but the fact the town's only about 11,000 people. So.
Oh really? Yeah, I feel like we stopped off there, but I don't know for sure. Maybe I'm thinking of just passing through it and seeing it.
Well, there's a music here in town. We've had Chicago Farmer, we've had Chain Station, we've had Aaron Cam and the One Drops, and so we had quite a few bands that would be the kind of band. If you ever wanted to stop in and play a show, we that's what we do. We promote those kind of shows. So
sure, love to
try to provide original music for our area in a quality way.
Yeah.
You'd be welcome to join us sometime.
Be more than happy to, man. That sounds awesome.
Okay. Well, is there anything you want to tell these folks before we ask you to play a final song? Andrew's telling us that all Terrapin festivals can be found here, including Snuggleween. Oh, is that part of the Terrapin family?
Yeah, we hold it down at Terrapin. So yeah, it's kind of just one of the other. Like they used to do 3, and the schedule is kind of changing up, and obviously this year is way different than normal. But like.
Right.
Yeah, they were switching it around, so I think it's going to go down to either 2 or 3, including Snuggleween for the year. But that's all kind of getting figured out right now still. But yeah, cool. Anything down there is a good time, and then we host ours there for Halloween weekend too.
Right on. Well, thanks, Ange, for keeping us surprised of these things. But all right, well, I'll invite you to sing another song, and we'll probably be it.
Sounds good.
Again, I want to thank everybody for listening. Thanks for your comments. We always love to Oh, Tammy Gentry says it'd be great to have them. Awesome to have them do a show around here. She just lives about 15 or 20 miles south of me.
Awesome.
But,
nice. So we got people wanting us there already.
Yeah. So this is Ben Gourley, the mandolin and player, and maybe a few other instruments for the band, the Rumpke Mountain Boys, based out of Southern Ohio. And I want to thank you again for being our guest today, Ben. And I hope when's the album coming out? We should tell the people.
We're working on figuring that out still. With the COVID stuff, like CD Baby's a little behind as far as processing and getting it out to the distributors. So with any kind of luck, look for it in the neighborhood of the 15th, but we'll definitely be posting more as soon as we find out anything concrete. We'll get the definite date up there.
Okay, so 15th of May-ish, you're thinking, something like that.
Right in that ballpark.
Cool. Very good. Thanks. This is Ben Gourley from the Rumpke Mountain Boys. Thank you very much for being our guest today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bill. This is awesome. Really appreciate it. All right, so here's one more little tune for y'all. We're going to go with a song called Lil Crow. Little crow, don't fly away so far from your home. Leave me with a broken heart, dead to the bone. Little crow, don't let me fall like a feather from your wing. Teach me to fly again, help me to sing. Road keeps getting longer and all I have is time. But even that well's running dry and I didn't used to mind. You I found a purpose for the heart I left behind. The miles and the passing hours begin to cut the line. The ace of clubs and I found a 3 to match. 5 off of the dead man's hand that I sometimes hope to catch. Waiting on the river now to see what happens next. Will all the doors fly open? Will they all slam shut and latch? One crow on the tightrope sings and anyone could hear. The song is not but wasted words if the other crow ain't near. The thought behind the words that ring will drown in pools of fear, while lonely shadows block the sun each time she disappears. All the notes meant something when they set out on the wind. Time it changes everything before it changes it again. Daydreams in the clouded heart that was never meant to win. Nightmares in the mind in charge are quickly closing in. Little crow, don't fly away so far from your home. Leave me with a broken heart, dead to the bone. Little crow, don't let me fall like a feather from your wing. Teach me to fly again, help me to sing. Teach me to fly again, help me to sing. Teach me to fly again, help me to sing.
Thank you, sir. It's been a good time.
Yeah, it's been great, man.
I look forward to seeing you backstage at one of our festivals as soon as possible.
Hey, same here, man.
All right. Good luck with that new CD.
Thank you much.